Use these batteries for my Sony A7E. The camera was expensive and I want it to last many, many years. I did not want to risk its performance, so I am buying authentic batteries from Sony. They work great, and I do not worry about leakage or explosions, or overheating. It's a Sony battery. Costs more than the third-party brands, but you know it's going to work and last. I can usually get through a whole wedding on just one battery in each of my two cameras, A7 III, A7R. Sometimes I'll switch it up before cocktail hour just so I don't have to think about it, but I am typically at approximately 50% at that point. I can get till 1200 shots per battery if I am good about turning off the camera between moments. This is also good for about 1:1.5 hours of 4K 100 Mbps recording. I switched from the 6300 to the A7E recently and purchased an extra battery. These batteries lasted me 6 hours of video shooting off and on at a wedding. I only had to replace the battery one time, whereas my 6300 and my second shooter's A7C needed 4 batteries at least. They are expensive, but the dollar is worth the reliability knowing it's a Sony product in the Sony cameras. I would never chance using a non-Sony battery or charger in this expensive camera. This provides out-of-camera charging of my backup battery. Displays battery charge level while charging. Annoying with a large cable rather than built-in prongs, but found a solution. Replace the cord with the Apple charger part with the prongs. This 1-inch cube part plugs into the Sony charger and makes for a very compact product that's much easier to carry. 4 stars because of high price and inconvenience of the cord. Yes, these batteries are expensive, but they're very reliable. Why buy an expensive camera and use cheap batteries? I've used lesser quality batteries for years and they never hold as good of a charge, and I've had a couple swell up inside the camera. I was able to get them out eventually, but there is a risk that they could really get stuck in there. These are much higher capacity than the old NPFW50 batteries, so no need to buy stacks of these. Just pick a couple OEM batteries up and call it a day. It's a whole lot of cash for a single battery. I end up forking up the cash however. On an old camera, I purchased some third-party batteries and while it did not damage anything, the battery started to expand after a few recharge cycles. I found this out because I almost had a battery get stuck in the camera. I thought it might have been an isolated incident, but more than one of the batteries expanded and I had to pry it out of the camera with a pocket knife. So while I hate paying this much cash for a single battery, I am not a fan of having to pry out batteries. I'll just stick with the OEM ones. They also tend to hold charges for a longer period of time. Using these for my Sony A7 III. It has better battery life than most cameras in that class, and these do a good job for their size. They're expensive, but necessary and worth it for videographers or wedding photographers. Wish they were cheaper, maybe around $40 to $50, but c'est la vie. These are a big improvement over the smaller batteries offered with the A7E. Roughly twice the shoot time on the A7R as on the A7E. Other than that, this is the usual quality offering of Sony for batteries. Sure, I use some 3D party batteries, but I like to have a few Sony originals for security. I know the Sony battery will work. Click link in description for more reviews.